Hello once again, this is Dave Knight here at Knight Capital Management. Thanks for watching. What we're going to go over here is the eMini Bull Bear Basic Trading Strategy this evening. As I'm recording, obviously it's the evening. Now, anyway, so to make a long story short, the very first thing when you open up your Genesis Trade Navigator, you're going to have a screen similar to this, maybe even perhaps with the Dow Jones Industrial Average in front of you, template default. Now, what we need is to get the special download file. Now, the way we get that special download file, the very first thing I need you to do, go up here to the blue phone, or if you don't have the blue phone, you want to click the file. But once you have this screen in front of you, now if you go from the file side, just say update data, and this comes up as well. So it's either the blue phone or file update data. And what you're going to have is this screen pop up in front of you. Now, what we need here is to download the special file. Now, after you've put your starter history in or whatever and did all your upgrades, and this comes after your upgrade, and what we want to do is say eMini BB, so it's it doesn't matter how you type it out, but I make sure it works for sure. I definitely know it works this way: small e, big M, I, big B, eMini BB. Now what we need to do here is say start to this, and it's going to download the special file. It's going to process the request. It doesn't take very long. You see me doing this in real time. Do you wish to upgrade? Yes. Please make sure all Genesis has been closed before continuing, which it's closed. We're going to go ahead and say continue to this. It's going to upgrade is completed successfully. Go ahead and say continue to that. And then I just need to get rid of a couple things here. This won't load up with this in here, this arrow glass, so just say OK to that. And this is the Tigers, my nickname Tiger. This is actually the tiger cubs from the Pittsburgh Zoo. They're not this small anymore, but this is when they were just babies when they first were released to the public. And I thought it was quite cute, and anyway, it's my screensaver for this point in time. So it's loading its charts, and now it's coming up. So do we wish to connect to real-time server? Not now. Not at this point in time. It's not something we want to do. And the pages that what we're going to get here is up here in the top. You should have a templates and a page. Now your templates, what you should see, now I've got some templates here, but the two templates that you should see for sure is the Tiger 5 and the Tiger 15. And you should have one page called the eMini Bull Bear. And what we want to do is go ahead and click the eMini Bull Bear. Do you wish to save the current page? No. And what we want to do is load this up. Now after you load up, this is what your screen should look like. Now if it does come up, sometimes I don't know why it would, but if it does come up in a black background, all you need to do is say white to it. So you know that one of our trading strategies, that's your particular preference. What you do is you right click here, you say edit chart settings, and while we're here in the edit chart settings, what we want to do is get rid of some stuff that we do not need in this particular trading strategy. We want to save this to its own page. So on this particular trading strategy, being the basic, now things that we do not need for this, now don't worry, we're not going to lose any of this information here. And even after I do this, if I would say get rid of the pane 2, pane 3 CCI and the volume, and I would say OK to this. Now I can come back here, edit chart settings, and I can add it back. So no worries, you can't break it. So just you can go ahead and add it back in. See, all these things are clicked. Say OK, and it's back. So alright, no worries. So what we want to do, we are using the ES for this particular trading strategy. Now what we want to do is get and save our new page to start with. So what we want to do is get rid of all the stuff that we don't need. Now this 6 charts in front of you is part of another trading strategy, more of an advanced trading strategy, and I don't really want to, I guess the old, you have to have the milk, or basically you think of another way, milk before the meat, or they always talk about baby steps, right? Well, before you take even your first baby step, if you think about a baby, the baby doesn't just start taking a step, right? The first thing they do is, basically they try to roll over, right, after they're done screaming and whatnot. But the first thing they normally try to do is try to roll over. And they try to lift themselves up with their hands. and then eventually they start to try to crawl in different ways, maybe doing an army crawl or whatnot. Finally they crawl, then they try to pick themselves up and holding a table and whatnot. Eventually, after all this process, they finally take their first step, that baby step. Now, you as this particular trading strategy falls into the crawling stage. So we've taken you a little bit along this way. You watched the basics of charting, the introduction, and now we're taking you to that next step. We're giving you a trading strategy that you can implement into your own account and start working with it. So this is a free basic trading strategy from me to you, kind of my gift. I want you to make money. I do. I want you to make money. I want you to be successful, and what I want to do is start you with the crawling side. So anyway, so what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and get rid of the ZB1. We're going to get rid of the G6E, which is a euro currency. Now the ZB1 was the 30-year bond. That was a euro currency. We want to go ahead and get rid of the YM contract. We want to get rid of the GC3, and we want to go ahead and get rid of crude oil. Now the crude oil, this bottom right now in our trading room, if you're currently a member of our trading room at this point, this is the TCB crude oil trading strategy. We use the crude oil market CL3-067. Now this is the preliminary video, and I'm just basically showing you how to set up this chart page the way I want you to set it up. So, but just so you know, in our room we're using, there's a black chart and whatnot. That's to tell the difference between the two particular trading strategies. Someone's looking at a screen or whatnot. If I got the black screen, I'm looking at crude oil. If I'm looking at something else, then I'm looking at more of a multiple market, or the ES or the ZB or some other market that I believe that we should be trading. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get rid of, now all this we can get back, and I'll show you that we can get it all back here. Now we have just one chart available. Now while we're here, what we want to do is go ahead and create a new, we want to save the chart page. Create a new chart page. Do you wish to save the current page eMini Bull Bear? Not at present. Let me back up here. It's been a while since I've did this, but before we do anything, please, I'll obviously, if you're watching this, I've already edited and cut that part of the video out. But the pages, what we want to do is come to pages. We want to say manage chart pages, and what we want now is we want to go ahead and get a new chart page. And we want to name the new chart page, right? So what I would like you to call it, at least what I'm going to call it, eMini Bull Bear Basic, or what we can say eMini Bull Bear if you want to spell it out, Basic Trading Strategy, and you can say all that. But what I want to do is just call it eMini BB BTS. So that stands for eMini Bull Bear Basic Trading Strategy. BTS for Basic, T Trading, S Strategy. This is what I want to name it, eMini BB BTS. So I've got it, I have it saved. Now once we have it saved here, we can go ahead and close it. Now this is what's kind of cool about it. We just created a page in Genesis. That wasn't too hard, right? We just said pages, manage chart pages, and boom, we have a new page. And just to prove that we didn't lose anything, let's go ahead and open up the eMini Bull Bear. Everything's there for you. See the eMini Bull Bear, all 6 charts. You didn't lose anything. So we want to go back to the eMini Bull Bear Basic Trading Strategy. Now what we've added here is the eMini ES1 contract. Let me blow this chart up here. Now what you have in front of you at this point in time is what's called the eMini S&P, the eMini. It's also called the I refer to it as the ES, the eMini S&P. Now what this is the S&P 500. It's the small version of the eMini S&P. Now it trades at, now the big S&P is a monster we won't even handle in this particular trade. You don't want to worry what you don't want to think about SP. You want to think ES. The ES, it trades at $12.50. It trades per tick, $12.50 per tick. So every time you see this thing move, it'll move a quarter, by the way. It'll go Over here you see 1176. Right now it currently closed at 1169 and 3/4 on September 2nd, which was Friday's close here at 4:15. Now we'll go over some this more in detail on later videos. But what we want to do right now is get this chart page, the preliminary part of this chart, set up for you so that you understand exactly what we're trying to do here. So just so you know, this is per tick, $12.50. Each point is worth $50. It's quarter, half, 3/4 whole. So think about $1. Every time you see this thing move from say 1170 to 1170, so when you see it move 1170 to 1171, I want you to start thinking of this in terms of $50 per point. So you have per tick per point, and let's just write that down real quick. So now this is our point. Points. People in this business talk about points and ticks, and the sooner that you start thinking in ticks and points and so forth, the better off that you're going to be in the commodities business and the futures business and so forth. So your broker is going to, if you're new to trading, they're going to throw things at you, and you're going to, wow. Along those lines, you want to paper trade for 30 to 90 days minimum. And you want to back test the heck out of it. Any trading strategy that you see, even mine. Just because I put it out there, don't take it for gospel. Go back test it. Look at it, make sure it works. And this is a very simple, basic trading strategy, and I know it works over time. You're going to have winning streaks, you're going to have losing streaks, and that's just part of the business. So anyway, so per tick, per point, we talked about that. And what we really want to concentrate here is setting this chart up the way that I want you to look at it. Now, once again, we didn't lose anything. Remember, I talked about we're not going to lose anything. So what we want to do is get this set in the basic trading strategy that I want to show you. So what we want to do, excuse me, I didn't tell you what to do here. Go ahead, and anywhere in here that doesn't have print in it, or a line or a bar or something, like in the white area, click your right mouse button, and you're going to have this edit chart settings and menu come up. Now what we want to do is say edit chart settings, left click, and what we want to do is go ahead and click off pane 2 CCI, and we want to click off pane 3 our volume area. Now on price, what we want to take care of in this particular trading strategy is we want to get rid of the spike reversal up, we want to get rid of the spike reversal down, we want to get rid of the LADR and the UADR, and then we want to leave everything else. Now it's very important that you leave this DK-ADR calculation on your charts, so leave that, and we'll talk about that on a future video, but do not take this off. So we're going to bring this in play in this particular trading strategy, because this is a basic component of everything that I do. What's called the ADR, which I call average daily range, not to be confused with the ATR, or average true range. This is the ADR. D as in David, as my first name, not as in Tom. D as in David. So that's the ADR. The DK ADR is what you should have in front of you. Average daily range. I think I beat that up enough. So after you're done doing what I did, what you say is okay, and you should have a fairly clean chart in front of you. Now what we want to do at this point is we want to add the ES contract. What we want is the open outcry, and I'll go over that in just a second, the open outcry, and we want the overnights. Now what we want is to bring a new chart in. So what we do is we say up in your menu, in the top menu, and while we're at it, let's add this in too. Let's go ahead and right click in the gray bar above. This brings up the customized toolbars. Now I like to look at the daily, the 60 minute, 15, 5, 3, and 1. Now if you wanted to add something, if you want to see the 10 minute, there, just click the 10 here and it comes up 10 right there. Take it off and it removes. So that's very simple. Right click on the gray bar and then the menu bar comes up. Now the new chart is right here. This little right here actually comes up and it says new chart. Now what we want to do is click new chart, and what we want is the ES contract. And the easiest way to do this is you have the active contract up in front of you. We just click in the ES. What we do is we delete the 1, and you get the ES 067 now. That's what we want. This is a continuous contract. Now the ES, once again, is the eMini S&P, and this is means the overnight version in Genesis. 1 means open outcry, and the take the 1 away, that means it's the 24-hour market. So the 067 means continuous contracts, and I'll go over that very briefly in just a second. So what we want to do is say ES-067. Now this is going to come up in front of you, and what you want to do is not change any of this. Copy settings from active chart, 5 minutes, and display trades and orders. You don't have any, so none. Say OK, and we have the ES. Now you haven't lost anything. What we have is 2 contracts stacked behind each other. Here's your ES and the ES1. Now it's your choice how you want to show it. I always like to have the current one off to the side. Now notice I just went and moved my windows around, and this looks pretty ugly right now, but we can, this is a quick fix here, is to go up here to your tile, or that's just 1 over from your new chart window. We come over here to the tile or cascade for all chart windows, and we have it set up the way we want it. Tile into 2 rows or 1 row. So this is up to you. You can do it this way, 1 row, like this, or you can set them up into 2 rows. This is personal choice, right? So this is totally up to you how you want to do this. You can say 2 rows like this, and then it'll stack it up like this. So you can see more data this way, and I prefer to look at it this way. So we just stacked up the overnight on top, and we stacked up the and it's up to you how you want to look at it. So I mean, sometimes it's easier to look at it this way. Once the market opens up, this is going to trail, this is going to, okay, so let's talk about a few things. Now the ES market basically trades from Sunday night, the ES meaning overnight, 24-hour. It's opened basically almost 24 hours less 15 minutes every day. From Sunday evening all the way to Friday afternoon at 4:15, this market is pretty much all the way open, unless there's some catastrophic event, and obviously the market might be closed at that point. Last time the markets were closed were on the September 11th period of time, right? 10 years ago coming into, by the way. So with that being said, outside of catastrophic events, this market is pretty much open, and the other reason that the market would be closed would be a holiday in the United States in this particular market. So if it is a holiday, then this market would close, and then it would reopen, and you would know that with your broker that you've chosen. They'll send you an announcement, let you know when it's open, when it's closed, and so forth. So what's kind of interesting about this whole particular, now the overnight market, from 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time through 4:30 Eastern Time, it'll be closed for 15 minutes, and it reopens up at 4:30, and then it goes all the way through another day, and then closes, recalculates 15 minutes, boom, it opens back up again. So that's the ES market, or the top market up here. Now if you did something like that, now let's say that we'd screw up something. You think, oh my gosh, I've screwed something up here. No, you haven't. Just go ahead and tile and cascade windows, choose however you want to look at it in 1 row, and you can, whichever way you like to look at it. You can look at it this way, you can look at it stacked up, and this way is kind of cool this way too. You got in actuality, it's probably how I prefer to look at it. We've got information on both windows, and when we want to just look at one particular market, you know, just like any windows, you open it this way up here, you minimizing it, and so forth. You can make it small, you can open it back up again full size. You can do this, and if you somehow or another screw up, you can come up here to the tile and cascade and set it up again. Now let's say you don't like it this way, you want to look at it the other way. Well, fine, just take this one and move it up, say OK, boom, the ES1's over here, and the ES. Now the ES1 is the open outcry. Now, what does open outcry mean for those that don't understand what I'm saying? What I mean by open outcry is that it's the normal stock market open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time or New York time, GMT -5, Green Minutes time, that is, -5. So it's the New York time, or when the U.S. markets open up, and the ES, which would be the eMini S&P, would be 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, and it'll go continuously to 4:15. Now you'll look on CNBC and some of these major news stations. They'll say the market's closed and it'll be 4 o'clock. Well, the futures markets continue to trade for 15 more minutes. Now they usually mean the cash markets, and they take a close at the 4 o'clock mark. Well, obviously they're not closed, but at 4:15 the futures markets do close for that 15 minutes and then reopen back up at 4:30 in this particular case on the eMini S&P. So what we want to do is well, we can look at it this way, open outcry this way, or you can move it around and look at it the other way, right? So we just move this one up, and then bam, it's back to where we had. So we have the ES here, the 24-hour market, and we have the ES1, which is the open outcry market on this particular trading strategy. So that, now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and save this chart the way we have it, right? We have the eMini Bull Bear Basic Trading Strategy, and we want to save the chart page. Do you want a name for this chart page? Yes, that's the what we need. We want to save it. So now when we open up, so now when we go eMini Bull Bear, you've created this page which has the 6 charts on it, and now we have, when it's all said and done, you should have the eMini BB BTS, where 2 charts are on here for you. Now we want to leave the colored bars on here, the red, the black, and the green, and we'll go over this in more detail and some more videos. Now this was video 1, just the preliminary video. I didn't go over the quote board, and you don't really need the quote board for this particular trading strategy. Go to your heart's content on the quote board. Just pause the video, look at the charts that I have in front of here, and you can add whatever you want. This is the particular markets that I like to look at. The Dow, the eMini, the NASDAQ, the Russell, 10-year note, the 30-year bond, dollar index, the Australian dollar, pound, euro, yen right here, corn, soybeans, wheat, silver, gold, and crude oil. So you can pause this and then look at this at your own leisure and time. Alright, this is a longer video than I thought it was going to take here, but there's lots of information I wanted to go over here with you on this preliminary video, video number 1, for the eMini Bull Bear Basic Trading Strategy. Alright, we'll see you on the next video.